Hey guys, it's Jonathan from Total Brohammer, and as you can see, today we'll be playing my favorite faction, the Mighty Empire. And as you can see, I've got Volkmar the Grim. So, this is the second game in a best of 5 between myself and Jen on occasion, and this was hosted on ItalianSpartacus channel, and both their channels will be linked in the description. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into it. So as you can see, I am my Mighty Empire, my favorite faction in the game. Not the most powerful faction, but lore-wise and just... yeah, aesthetically, I like being like the normal humans. I like overcoming it, even though I'm not special like an elf. So that's I guess that's kind of why I have chosen the Empire here. But let's go ahead and go over army composition. So like I said, I've got Volkmar the Grim over here, and he's got his area of effect buffs. And I've also got the Royal Altdorf Griffites, some Reichsguard over here, some Spearmen with shields, a front line of swordsmen, a little bit chevroned up, so they have 4 to 3 chevrons on all of them, as well as the Sigmar Sons in the center here. Over on the left flank, I've actually got another Spearman, another Reichsguard, a Grey Wizard, with Enfeebling Foe and Penundal Pendulum, as well as Metal-Class Mystifying Miasma. I've also got 2 Outriders, as well as 1 Witch Hunter. So that's it for my army here. And my plan here was to kind of draw him in, hoping that he would come in. And fortunately for me, he does. And kind of surround him on the edges here. So I was expecting me to have to go to him, but he decides to come to me. So that is going to work out in my advantage here. And we are going to have a nice concave on him here. So as for Jan's army, as you can see, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Spearmen, 2 Archers. He's got Tyrion on foot here. Interesting choice. As well as a Lore Master of Hoeth here. And it looks like he's got Metal-Class Mystifying Miasma and Earthblood. Alright, we also got 1 Swordmaster of Hoeth here, and the Swordmasters of Hoeth are so good against the Empire, they'll absolutely destroy any infantry they have. Like, great swords don't trade cost effectively with them at all, even though they're only 450 more. You'd think that they'd be able to get them down to, you know, about 33% health considering the cost difference, but no, it's not even... They don't even get close to that. Besides that, he's got a unit of Silver Helms and Dragon Princes on his left flank, as well as 2 Illyrian Reaver Archers on the right flank. So let's go ahead and kick it in the gear here. So I see that Jan's approaching me, and that's going to work out very well for me. So I'm going to go ahead and move back a little bit and put my cap on the sides here. And I was planning to have to go around on each side, but since he's coming to me, I'm going to go ahead and pull my guys back around and wait for the concave to come to me. So he's just going to be pulling everything in the center here, and we'll go ahead and speed it up a little bit. And I'm wondering, at this point, I'm wondering if I need to send my guys around or if he's going to come, because I was expecting him to maybe stop here in the center, and so that there was no way to flank him from this side. But he does keep on coming forward to me, and I need him to come a little bit forward more, because I didn't want him to block off his back line with the Spearmen. So I pull back my Swordsman, and once I got a big enough gap here, I'm going to turn around and engage on all these Spearmen. Alright, and here comes the glorious charge. The Swordsman versus the Spearmen here. 35 and 37, which is pretty good, honestly. My Outrider's going to get a few shots in the back here. Just a little bit of auto fire. And we're going to just be charging across the front here. Let's get a good cinematic charge here. Oh yeah, amazing. Alright, you gotta love the Empire here. So I got my Outriders focusing on these Dragon Princes here. And I'm going to go ahead and have my Reichsguard over here. I'm going to drop a Penundal Pendulum right here, which does a lot of damage to this Spearman, and actually my Sigmar Son as well. So over here, I'm trying to pull my Spearman up. I don't want my Cav to take a charge from these Dragon Princes. And I'm going to go ahead, since there's nothing threatening my Reichsguard at the moment, I'm going to go ahead and land some rear charges on either side of the flanks. Because I really want to be able to... get my infantry moved back and into these archers. Over here, I'm having the Spearmen with shields go after the Silver Helms or Dragon Princes, whatever comes close, because, like I said, I just want to stop their charge. And you can stop their charge with Spearmen and also inundate the enemy horses with Spearmen. Your Cav will do so much better. So as you can see, Volkmar's over here. We do got the charges going down here on either side. His Illyrian Reavers are really messing up my Outriders, so I'm going to pull them back here and bring some Spearmen in. So as you can see, he's going to get a nice Sunfang right here and absolutely destroy these swordsmen here. So let's go ahead and watch that. Yep, gone. Just gone. And here come his Silver Helms hitting these swordsmen. and both his Dragon Princes and his Silver Helms are going after the Reichsguard now. As you can see, the Outriders are just shooting at the Silver Helms. I'm going to run to the protection of my Spearmen with shields over here, and as you can see, he didn't really get that great of a charge since my Reichsguard were running from him, and I went ahead and turned around, and now we got Spearmen in the mix. So since he didn't get that great a charge, my Reichsguard are going to last quite a while here. As you can see, my Witch Hunter is also firing into these guys, and I am trying to get an accusation on Tyrion here, but unfortunately for me, he's getting pushed off. I have him on skirmish mode, and he's getting pushed off by these Illyrian Reaver archers. As you can see, the archers are shooting him. I finally got my Royal Altdorf Gridfights into the battle here, and they went ahead and finished off some Spearmen back there. And if you're wondering why I'm leaving these archers alone, I actually thought that they were Lothan Sea Guard, so that my cav, I was thinking my cav wouldn't do well against them. I left these Reichsguard in against the Spearmen too long, but I am pulling them out, and they didn't take much damage, so that's pretty good. So I'm going to bring in Volkmar around this way, and now I have these Royal Altdorf Gridfights going after these Illyrian Reavers, but I don't get them. I get intercepted by the Dragon Princes, but we got the Reichsguard here, and we got these Spearmen, and these Royal Altdorf Gridfights will do very well. However, Janet is doing a really great job at getting the Spearmen to come around, and we are taking a lot of damage here. He's also shooting at them with his archers. Going to run a charge here on these unbraced Spearmen, try to finish them off here. Going to try to get an overcasted Penonzal Pendulum, but although it looks from my perspective like it was on them, I guess it really wasn't. So I'm going to be pulling out the Royal Altdorf Gridfights and Volkmar the Grim and trying to go after Tyrion here. He's going to be helping a Milkos Mystifying Miasma. Now that I got Tyrion surrounded by Volkmar the Grim and the Royal Altdorf Gridfights, I'm going to use the AoE buffs from Volkmar the Grim to just jack everyone around here, all this anti-large, and just start hitting up Tyrion. I'm also shooting him up with the Witch Hunter and about to pop an accusation on him. So as you can see, my Reichsguard are still alive here, and they are also buffed now. And unfortunately for me, Janet very wisely sent his Illyrian Reaver Archers, which have pretty good melee stats with their martial prowess up, after my Outriders, and he's just completely wrecking them. But at the very least, they're away from the battle right now. So as you can see over here with that accusation, the Witch Hunter, Volkmar, all the anti-large right here, we are destroying Tyrion here. He does have Faint and Repose up, as well as physical resistance, so that's pretty great. Gonna drop a Penonzal Pendulum over here. Still thinking these guys are actually Lothan Sea Guard, and absolutely wreck those archers. So I'm gonna realize real soon here that these guys aren't actually Lothan Sea Guard. So gonna go ahead and try to finish them off, pulling some swordsmen through. They were fighting these Lord Masters of Hoeth the entire match here. As you can see, Tyrion is getting absolutely destroyed, and he's indeed going to tear out off. Because the Royal Altdorf Gridfights actually do cause terror. And as you can see, I'm pulling him out here now because I don't want him to engage on the Spearmen. As you can see, the Heart of Avalorn just procced on Tyrion, but unfortunately for Janet, it procced while he was riding away. So seeing this, I'm going to make sure I 100% keep Volkmar on Tyrion to keep him from coming back to the battle. I see these Illyrian Reavers might be coming to intercept this, and that would mean that Tyrion would have time to come back to the battlefield, so I send my Royal Altdorf Gridfights and these Reichsguard in to intercept them and absolutely shatter them. So I'm going to keep on Tyrion here and make sure he gets off the battle. As you can see, I just ran a rear charge on these Spearmen who were fighting my Spearmen with the Reichsguard, and we were absolutely messing them up. But he has a really strong group here. He's got some Spearmen and these Swordmasters of Hoeth. Empire just can't do too much against Swordmasters of Hoeth, especially since he ran off my Outriders here. Gonna have some Spearmen with shields engage on his Spearmen, and this Witch Hunter is working on these Dragon Princes right now. And I'm going to pull these two guys back, and they're going, as you can see, that was a misclick there actually, but I am going to give them orders in a moment here to attack these Dragon Princes. Huh, you know what, it says I told them to go over there, but they actually do have charge orders apparently. So that's a weird bug. As you can see, Volkmar has chased Tyrion off the field here, and I have these Reichsguard just going around, hitting everything they can. He has some Illyrian Reaver archers left. The Lord Master of Hoeth is in great health, as well as these Swordmasters. As you can see, I lose my crown, my Grey Wizard, and he almost takes a hit from the Lord Master of Hoeth. And as you can see, he pops an Earthblood, and he's just getting Earthblood on here. I am able to get away, though, and at this point, I've got a nice surround on him. So I'm going to go ahead and surround, send my Reichsguard over here to finish off these Spearmen, because I don't want to help. And then we're going to have a glorious collapse here. So as you can see, I have my Outriders shooting at the Swordmasters of Hoeth. It looks like their automatic fire went immediately to these Spearmen, actually. But I'm also going to have my Witch Hunter pop an accusation on the Swordmaster of Hoeth and start shooting him up. So he's going to pop a middle-cost Mystifying Miasma on these Reichsguard, but I'm going to come in here. These guys are unbraced, and there they go. These Illyrian Reavers are coming around here as my Spearmen actually... Oh no. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we can pause it here. There we go. So I'm going to... Now that we got the last of the High Elves surrounded here, I'm going to send Volkmar in. As you can see, the Volkmar just got a hit on the Lore Master of Hoeth, and the Witch Hunter's shooting him up, as well as that accusation. And although he has an Earthblood going off, we just did so much damage to him so fast. Here comes the Royal Alt Fights and what's left of the Reichsguard. These Reichsguard are inbound. All the Empire State Infantry are coming in, and we're getting some good shots on them. And just to top it all off, to really put the nail in the coffin, I'm going to go ahead and pop all of Volkmar's buffs. And Volkmar with his buffs are actually so good. It just makes everything around him just such a good unit. And at that point, it looks the High Elves of Janet do indeed all shatter. Alright, so let's look at the breakdown here. Volkmar actually has 0 kills, but those buffs were invaluable and made him a great choice here. And now you might be wondering, why did you bring Volkmar instead of like Karl Franz? He has even better buffs, and they're also one of them is actually also AoE. Well, I didn't bring Karl Franz because I actually wanted to bring the Grey Wizard, because the Penundral Pendulum does a great job at destroying Spearmen and Lothan Seaguard and the like, and anything lightly armored, which the High Elf Spearmen and Lothan Seaguard, which are common in this matchup, and well, I guess all matchups really. Yeah, the Penundral Pendulum absolutely destroys anything lightly armored, so I definitely want that. And Volkmar the Grim heals, and if you bring Karl Franz, you pretty much have to bring healing, or else you're taking a big risk. And this is a bad matchup for the Empire already, so I didn't want to take that risk, but I did want some AoE buffs to just jack up my Royal Artificer Fights. And as you see, the buffs just made my troops perform, especially these cav right here. These Reichsguard were the ones who got charged by those Silver Helms and the, what are they called? Dragon Princes. But Reichsguard have 120 armor, and the Dragon Princes and Silver Helms didn't get a great charge. As you can see, they only got 23 and 24 kills. So these guys got as much kills at them as them, and held them up the entire battle pretty much. So these guys, Reichsguard, are so good. They're one of the few units on the Empire roster that are actually cost effective. So yeah, that worked out pretty great for me. As you can see, my infantry did pretty much nothing, but so did his. Except these Swordmasters of Hoeth here. Of course, the Swordmasters of Hoeth are actually going to wreck everything in their path. So, yeah, a really great game. Look at these Reichsguard over here with 164 kills. They're spraying those rear charges all over the place. Really, I mean, they're my Swordmasters of Hoeth here. And you got to use them against the High Elves here. So, a really good game to Janet on occasion. Like I said, I'm going to have Italian and Janet's channels in the description if you want to check them out. And, you know what? I just said that the High Elves have a really good matchup against the Empire, and let me show you what I mean here. So let's go to Custom Battle, and I'll show you a High Elf army that I think the Empire would have a really hard time taking out. So here it is. I already got loaded up, in fact. So we got Teclis here, and he's got the a lot of his abilities here. He's got the net and fielding foe and regrowth, and the Empire actually have superior cav because of the Royal Altar of Fights. So I say you can bring one Dragon Prince, but I say skip it. So I got Teclis here. I got a Noble just to guard him. I've got 3 Spearmen, and they have silver shields, and as you can see in that battle we just watched, they last forever against the Empire Infantry, even great swords. But besides that, I have 4 Swordmasters of Hoeth. Now, remember when I said that the Swordmasters of Hoeth trade extremely well, like extremely well with the great swords? If the opponent brings great swords and you have Swordmasters of Hoeth, the great swords will barely put a dent in them, honestly. So, you're saying, well, Jonathan, what if the opponent brings a lot of guns? Well, you got 4 Lothan Seaguard with shields. If they bring a lot of guns, move your Lothan Seaguard with shields in front of your Swordmasters of Hoeth, and then what are they going to do? They're going to hit these silver shields and get out-traded because they are outranged and out-damaged because of the silver shields. Okay, so you're saying, well, what if he comes in and brings a lot of cavalry? Well, look how many spear units you have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spear units. Not to mention, every time he comes in, you can concentrate with your Lothan Seaguard with shields and absolutely melt any unit, no matter how armored they are. So, yeah, I think this build would be next to impossible for the Empire to take down, I think. And I've never actually gotten the matchup because if I take High Elves, well, your opponent would be crazy to take Empire. So, yeah, I've never actually gotten to use it, but in theory, I think this would be amazing. And like I said, you can even cut these nobles and maybe, let's see, make one of these guys. We can cut down a bunch of them, actually. And then we can even grab some Dragon Princes if you want, which can even help you win that infantry fight even more, but I don't think that's actually really necessary. They would be pretty good in actually protecting Teclis, though, as they can hold up anything that tries to get into them. But at this point, you could also bring your Spearmen into the front line in front of your Swordmaster Tehoa to block bullets. So yeah, very hard build to beat for the Empire, and the High Elves have a great matchup against the Empire. And I say this because people have been telling me, the Empire doesn't have that bad of a matchup against the High Elves. Well, that's because people aren't bringing the right High Elf army. Empire, I don't think is going to be able to do too much against something like this, or the previous build with the Noble even. But that's just my thoughts. Like I said, I've never gotten to use it because no one will ever bring the Empire when I bring High Elves. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with y'all. Anyway, that's going to be all for this one, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and this is Jonathan for Total Brohammer, signing out.